Hey, here we go. Let me hit the right buttons. There we go. Let me turn this down. Hello, good morning, happy Friday. Funky Friday on the Morning Night Live. Hello, how you doing? It's, like I said, it's Friday. I'll say it again, it's Friday. And it's Friday. So anyway, we're just going to catch up on little tidbits here and there of the news like we do on the daily. But there was an insurrection! An insurrection in the Capitol yesterday. So that's one of the biggest parts of the news. Although, it's weird. I didn't hear any of the critters the news critters calling it an insurrection. It had all the markings of an insurrection. There was violence, people arrested, attacking police, a lot of takeover of a congressional building during a congressional thing. And I just don't get it. Why are my little Streamlab things showing little rainbow shit? That's weird. When did that start happening? I didn't ask for that. Anyway, it's Insurrection Day and it's Funky Friday. Let's do that thing. Anything else? No. Johnny, play the intro.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only P-Dog Knight.
All right, did I click the right buttons this time? Looks like I did. Stop the music. Sorry. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I am your host, Marty, also known as P-Dog Knight on the internet. And welcome back to the P-Dog Knight channel. I'm going to experiment with the mic a little farther away today, but just so I can see my monitors. And welcome to the show. It is Friday, the 20th of October, 2023. Almost Halloween. We dug out the Halloween decorations, put them around the front of the house. The little kitty's going to be excited. And I'm going to get ready to have a little bonfire out there and all that stuff that I do every year. I love Halloween. I don't know why. I just feel like it's, anytime we can make kids smile, it's a good day. And it's not an LGBTQ plus holiday. They haven't changed it to that yet. Although maybe everyone will start coming, dressing as Caitlyn Jenner and the swimmer dude and all that people. But until then, it's not an LGBTQ holiday. It's just a normal little fun thing that we do in the United States and some other places. And it's not there. We don't take it seriously, right? I don't even know why it's become such a tradition. Maybe the candy companies have something to do with it. Maybe, I don't know, but kids like it. It's fun. They get to be something else for an evening and have fun. Hand out puppies. I'm not going to hand out puppies. What are you talking about? Wait a minute. Is nobody? Whoa, that's a first. It's a first in a long time. Nobody's watching on Rumble. Well, it says 3, but one would be me. How does that work? That's weird. No, 8, not even AD and Jimmy Das Hotep. Anyway, let's see. Thanks, by the way, really quick to Somnambule Nation, who's already done the non-obligatory but certainly appreciated retweet or tweeting out of the show. Greatly appreciated. I just retweeted you and like that. And so I was going to say hi, and I looked over at Rumble, and nobody's there. That's weird. I know I set it up properly. Were there no notifications on Rumble today? And it's running. It's actually working too. I'm looking at the monitor here. It's working just fine. Oh well. And I never know how this thing works. Who knows? Maybe no one got a notification. Anyway, can I just say hi to the people on YouTube? Then I will just do that. By the way, I haven't. If you noticed, I dropped about 11 of those shorts videos. If you happen to notice those, just do some kind of interaction with them. Next Gen Troll. There you go. First on Rumble. At Next Gen Troll, you get the bell. There you go. I knew somebody would show up. If you see any of the little shorts videos, if they pop up in your feed or whatever, just interact with them. Hit like, share, whatever. You don't even have to share them. Hit like or make a comment. I'm being algorithmically restrained. So so in order to work the algorithm, I've learned that if you interact with a post, and you don't even, in fact, it's easier just to like it. That's fine. Then they will send it to more people and whatnot. They're just clips of the show. I'm experimenting with the new clip generator AI thing that helps me choose clips, and then I can edit them a little bit. And so I just decided to pump out like 10 of them yesterday. Ideally I'm going to drop 2 or 3 of those every day or every other day or when I have time to do it. But I just went hog wild yesterday and did one every hour from midnight until 10. So if you're seeing those, please don't be in there. Oh, the Batman's over there too. Hey, and Ty Alexander's over there. So there you go. More people on Rumble. Welcome to the show. Appreciate you jumping in over there. So then on YouTube, first in the chat, the bell goes to Jesse Leon because Jesse is first. And good morning, GDSOB. Bright and early today. Kara Soldier in the house. Always in the top 3, but man, you're going to get that first one of these days. Fake news experts in the house. Grand excuse me. Oh, the Grand Inquisitor, Mr. Ty Alexander. I don't know why I started doing that, but it becomes fun every time. Good morning also too. Somnable Nation, Frank Cap, welcome. Lord Stanhope's in the house, Rod Line, hello. My favorite Canadian Jaeger ponies here. Good morning also too. I just said Lord Stanhope. Good morning, Maddie. Oh, Maddie, I hope you're doing well. I know that I still see kind of the posts you're putting out there, and I love you, honey, and I hope you're well. We'll have to get together again sometime soon. Let's see who else is here. Rick Ashbringer's in the house. The Batman. Hail Hydra. I don't know, Batman. Are you really here, or am I Batman? It's hard to tell. Anyway, good morning also too. Who else is here? Is that it? Simon Wolfwood's in the house. I see you. Reaction Puerto Rico. You lovely island of tropical breezes. You know, it's funny because when I sing that song, that's a song from West Side Story, if you didn't know. And I always get the verses of that particular song. The song's called America. I like to be in America. Okay, me in America. And but I always get the 2 verses because the first is one person talking about how much they love Puerto Rico, and the other one's talking about how it's an ugly island of tropical disease, whatever. But Puerto Rico is what you make of it, and I think it's a lovely island. Good morning also, Sayan Wizard. Drew that out a little bit. And I just saw Zed the Snarky drop in. Mason Cornish, what's up? And I think that's everybody. I'm doing a lot better. Good. I am so happy that you're better, Maddie. I'm so glad that you're doing well. I know how rough it is. My cousin is going through the same thing at the very same time. And I think she has her last, did she just have her last chemo, or maybe the second last? She might have one more left. But it sucks. It sucks. Fuck cancer. Okay, I swore already. Peter, our joke costume this year is I am going as a female who is transitioning to be a male, and my wife is going as a female who is transitioning into a female. Wait, what? So it's a double secret super transitioning thing there. You know what's weird? I'm looking at, okay, checking the stream bot here. Okay, share the stream. I see that one. Discord server. Apparently the ones with the links are not there. That's weird. Why aren't those there? I'm just checking this. I'm just checking some technical difficulties on the backstage, whatever. Yeah, they're all there. Let's see. Drop a deuce. Oh, and it's should only happen 7 minutes in, and then there's superstar sponsors. That should have happened 7 starts in. And okay, well, anyway. So did I get everybody? Is that, if I haven't said hi, you'll show up eventually, or you'll show up in my you'll hear the words that come out of my mouth, and so on and so forth. All right, let's get into what's happening in the world, because that's what we talk about every day. And it's going to be a little random day because I didn't open a whole bunch of tabs like I usually do. I just have a handful open. Maybe I'll actually get through them all. But at the end of the show, of course, I will add all the tabs or all the stories and links and tweets and videos, whatever. They'll all be in a single link at the end of the show in the chat during the outro. And I'll add them to the description of both Rumble and YouTube. I'll put them on the Discord server with the replay links. And so you'll be, if you want to see any of these articles again, or if you want to get to them more thoroughly, or if you want to use them for your video, or if you want to use them for your blog, or whatever you do with them, you know, if you want to print them out and wipe them, never mind, I shouldn't say that. That's gross. Wipe your ass with them. Then you can do whatever you want, and you'll have them, and you'll have a good laugh on your own without me. Without you. By the way, another thing. Plague Trucker Zach. Oh my gosh, what's up? Use Brave. Hadn't had an ad yet. Yeah, I use Brave too. I love Brave. It's great. So, by the way, some news. I've started another new YouTube and Instagram channel because, you know, Marty's Big Journey, the one that, oh, hello, Blackout. What's up? Good to see you. It's 8879. And Sully's in the house. Nice to see you. So I started another YouTube channel, which I haven't put any content on yet, and another Instagram, which are both, you know, both going to be used. Because if you follow me on Marty's Big Journey at all, either of those channels, the purpose of that channel is really just, you know, showing travel stuff and, you know, cool places that we go and whatever. And it's turned into it's turned into a dad joke channel. And I didn't want that to happen. And I looked yesterday and I'm looking at my phone and I looked on YouTube and I'm like, oh my God, I haven't done anything but jokes in those channels for a while. So I decided that I am going to have I'll have a dedicated joke channel. And it's called Marty Got Jokes. No S, Marty Got Jokes. Marty Got Jokes. Uh-oh, you know, when someone says that. So, and I haven't a link to the new channel. I'll put a link in the, well, here, let's see if I can find it. There, let's go to YouTube. It may not even list yet because I literally just made it yesterday and I haven't put any content on it yet. But let's try this. At Marty Got Jokes. Well, I'll be damned. There's my lovely face. Well, I'll put that in the links too. But I haven't, again, content's going to start going on there today. Basically just daily, roughly daily, almost daily jokes. I'll be taking all of my jokes off of YouTube, the other channel, and dropping those into this channel eventually, but just kind of one at a time. And so if you need to just get away from the nonsense, okay, I can be a funny guy. I know that's hard to believe, right? It's a little facetious, but look, my acting skills are fucking phenomenal. Okay. So when I start to tell a joke, you don't know if I'm telling a story or if I'm telling a joke. Okay. I'm just saying. Okay. For example, okay. Well, this isn't really an example. This is something that happened to me too. Oh, thank you. Somebody put it over there and on Rumble, but they'll be in the links too. It'll be in the links, even though there's no content. I'll put the Instagram up there too. Let's put the Instagram up there too. Let's do this. We'll go here and I'll put them both on. You know, Instagram has better sound. I don't know why. Mainly because I do the what am I trying to say? I edit them in Instagram. So for whatever way, Instagram has a little like sound enhancer. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to put the Instagram up. YouTube's fine. They'll both be it's the same content on both channels. I just putting it in two places. I might actually add I may, God forbid, oh, it pains me to say it. I may, God forbid, open a TikTok. I know they mine data, whatever, but I may do TikTok too. I just put them on all three because my wife loves TikTok. I don't know why I can't do it yet, but I might actually do that. Oh, it just pains me to say it. But anyway, all right, enough about that. So that channel, the link, thanks, Sully put the link in the Rumble chat already. In fact, I'll just copy that and paste it over here too, because that'll be easier. So if you want to subscribe to Marty Got Jokes, there's nothing political about it. There's nothing political in it. There's nothing, social. Everything remember that? Who had that commercial where they said, "Want to get away?" That's what the channel's for. That's what the channel. No, I'm not transitioning into a woman. No, I'm not. Anyway. All right. Should we talk about news? Should we talk about what happened in the world? Let's go into. First of all, now I thought this was weird when I opened up Twitter this morning, when I opened up X this morning, the app formerly known as Twitter. And Ringo Starr was trending. And I thought, oh my God, is it Ringo Starr's birthday? Did he die? Why is Ringo Starr trending? That's just weird because it's not his birthday. He didn't die. He's just trending. And so I'm sitting here going through the link here, trying to figure out, okay, why is Ringo Starr trending? Okay. First of all, they've been performing for 60 years. He and Paul are still alive, obviously. In 1964, Ringo Starr snapped a photo of 5 high school students who had skipped class to see the Beatles during their first trip to the United States. The group had no idea the photo even existed until Ringo published his book of photos, and he asked the group to come forward. So they redid the photo. That's kind of cool. But that's not why he's trending. He's trending because Ringo Starr just put out a new album. I'm like, dude. And he closed his 2023 tour in Thackerville yesterday, the 13th, with 21 shows in 30 days, 2 hours each at 83 years old. And he looks like he's in amazing shape for an 83-year-old. Ringo is like, think about this, okay? Because Paul McCartney's finally starting to show his age. He's in his 80s. And, the Rolling Stones, they looked dead about 20 years ago, even though they're still going. But look at Ringo. Ringo looking pretty healthy there. And so I guess he put out a new album. He just finished his tour, and good for Ringo Starr. That's all I could say about why he's trending, because it really doesn't make any sense. Oh, wait. Here's a great photo, though. I should show you this photo, because this is for the guys more than the girls. But here's Ringo Starr and Raquel Welch back in the day. This is, what movie is this? The Magic Christian. So, there's only one reason I put that photo up. Anyway, she's looking, that's of course, in 1969, she was fine. All right. How lucky is it that all those friends were still alive for that photo? I know. How about that too? That's pretty cool. Ringo played on Maddie's House of Geeks' favorite Beatles song, Yellow Submarine. Well, yes, he did. Yes, he did. Well, that's because he was on every Beatles song, wasn't he? Okay. All right. Hey, Gunfox is in the house, and you've saved my day. Thank you for dropping a Alexander Hamilton in the tip jar. And we have breaking news. Oh God, what is this going to be? Let's see. Let's find out. Biden had a speech yesterday. Yeah, we'll get to that. I am definitely going to put that. I'm going to put that ahead of the insurrection. In fact, I'll do that first. Thank you, Gunfox61, for dropping an article. If you want to drop an article, if you want me to show me something and try to get my brain burning, feel free to drop a Deuce or an Alexander or even a Jefferson or whatever, any of those dead presidents. Drop some dead presidents in the tip jar, and I'll make sure I get to the article. Good morning, Nomad is in the house.
Hammer time.
So let's start with Jim Jordan. Jim Jordan's trending, and these are gonna be quick, but I just want to show you some of the things that people are saying about Jim Jordan. Apparently, they were trying to do this Speaker of the House vote, and 20 Republicans did not vote for Jordan, right? And so there's no majority, and Jordan is not the Speaker of the House yet. And then they did another vote last night, and then 22 voted against him. So breaking, Jim Jordan held a press conference ahead of a third vote for Speaker of the House. And, let's listen to this speech, because, he held a press conference. I don't know why. Some would say it was a little immature, a little premature. But here's Jim Jordan on what he said yesterday before the speaker vote. Because people are saying, the Congress can't do anything. Marty Eash, look in Discord. Oh, God. No, I'm never short on news. I'm never short on news. I just decided to kind of keep it cool today because I wanted to have a lot more extracurricular time. Plus, we got to do Q&A. It's Friday. Oh, it's Q&A Friday, by the way. Here. In fact, let's do this. We'll start putting questions in the Q&A. Let me drop the Q&A here. Drop your Q&A questions here. So it's kind of one of those ask me anything things, right? So there you go. We'll drop a Q&A out there if you want to put questions in there, and I'll deal with that. All right, here's Jim Jordan before the third vote of the Speaker of the House, where he did not make it.
Polly and I got a call from some friends live in the Dayton,
Ohio
area. We live about 40 miles north of there, and they asked if we were free to go to dinner with them on a few nights later, and we said sure. And they said, before we go to dinner, we're going to tour the Wright brothers' homes. And we said,
okay, don't care.
We said, great. We enjoy history. Let's learn about these amazing two Americans. And so we go there.
Sure.
And you paid the lady at the door $5 from the Historical Society. And you go in this store and you learn all.
Only $5? That's pretty cheap. That's pretty cheap. $5. Have you been to any historical places that are $5 or less? Like we went to Pearl Harbor, right? And when on our last day in Hawaii, but everything, all the extra exhibits like costed more. You could walk through there. Did it cost anything to get in there? Oh, you could buy a audio tour, right? And you do that. And supposedly they charge you to go to see the Arizona, but we got to go to the Arizona Memorial for free. But all the other stuff costs, everything's more than $5. So that's cheap if you're getting the Wright Brothers Museum for $5.
All these amazing things about the Wright brothers. You learn about the bicycle shop and the other things, the gadgets and gizmos they tinkered with and built. Fascinating tour.
Mm-hmm.
Last stop on the tour is Orville Wright's bedroom. And they tell you a few more things about this particular Wright brother. And then they close the tour out by showing you two pictures. First picture they hold up, that very first flight, 1903, in Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, in this thing they called a plane. And you first thought you see that and you think, how did that thing get off the ground? And the truth is it barely did. It flew like 100 feet, got a few feet off the ground. And you're thinking about that, and you sort of remember that picture from 8th grade, 9th grade, whenever they teach you that in school. And I thought, well, that's amazing. They put that picture down.
I want to know what his point is
here. And then they hold up a second picture. 44 years
a $5 PBR at happy hour. Okay. I interrupted. Okay, Jim Jordan's not saying anything important here. I'm going to interrupt this because the $5 PBR at happy hour. When I was in Des Moines last weekend, there's a bar in Des Moines called High Life Bar, and it's basically they have Miller High Life on tap, they have Hams on tap, they have PBR on tap, they have Grain Belt on tap, they have Schlitz, they have all these old brand beers. Okay, right? And the bar is like all like wood paneling and all these like 60s and 70s beer lights, beer, signs and the beer lampshades hanging down and stuff. I mean, it looks like you're going into a Legion in the 1960s, right? It's a really cool bar. And they have really great fish fry on Fridays, too. But anyway, I don't know what brought that up at the PBR. So anyway, he had this speech. The quickest way to get this all working is to get a speaker elected. That's what I hope we can do today. Well, unfortunately, it did not happen. So, and again, he also said the American people are thirsty for a change, hungry for leadership. Jim Jordan held a press conference before the vote, but didn't work out so much for him. Let's see. In the meeting yesterday between Jim Jordan and holdouts, close Jordan ally Warren Davidson said it's not Team Jordan's fault that the holdouts are getting death threats. Oh, they are getting the death threats, he said, because they voted against Jordan. Oh, is that what they said? This was relayed to me from many people in the room. Interesting. Death threats are not because of Jordan. These people need to understand the proper pace of blame, and they don't need to mirror that. It does nothing but hurt Jordan when his fellow legislators bend knee to things other than what their constituents want. Blaming holdouts for receiving death threats due to their vote is a troubling response, regardless of one's stance. Such threats are never accepted. It's funny how they always dig out the death threats. Do you know how many death threats people in Congress probably get? Just because there's idiots out there. So I don't know. Anyway, thank you, GunFox61. Oh, by the way, GunFox61, I forgot. You are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Thank you, sir, for sponsoring the show. And he did it again. Another Hamilton in the tip jar. Here, let me just get Jim Jordan off the screen here for a second, because this one has a message. Oh, they got him this time. Oh, the Dems got him surely this time. Oh, here we go. All right, so we're gonna, we got two articles from GunFox. Why didn't that one open? There it is. Okay, good. Oh yeah, we went through this yesterday, but I will go through it again because now this is an editorial. Why it's bad news for Trump and the other co-defendants. Okay, we'll get to that. We'll get to it. I promise we'll get to that. Anything else on Jim Jordan? I'm just looking at what people are saying. Congressman Jim Jordan doubled down this morning. Love to see this. We want someone who will fight for the American people, not someone who fights for lobbyists and special interests. Let's see. 13 of 22 random holdouts derailing Jim Jordan are connected to FTX and voter mule donations. Uh-oh. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. I mean, it's Twitter. It could be I was going to say a blanche of misinformation, but that's not really a proper use of the word blanche. But it's let's see. Steve Scalise is one of the holdouts too. Tell him to stop blocking Jim Jordan. Here's why he's doing it. And his office phone number by Rob Nesses. Well, let's find out why he thinks Steve Scalise is the holdout. Of course, Steve Scalise was the one that they didn't vote for last time. Let's see what this says. Breaking exclusive. Steve Scalise and 13 random holdouts derailing Jim Jordan are connected to FTX and voter mule donations. So here it is. Congressman Steve Scalise, who is undermining Jim Jordan for House Speaker, took money from Sam Bankman-Fried's illegal FTX campaign finance operation, as did 13 of the 22 rhino holdouts. Scalise is the driving force behind the 22 rhinos who have prevented Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan, Republican Ohio, from clinching the House speakership after 2 rounds of votes. Trump endorsed Jordan and as a clear choice of grassroots conservatives. A top House GOP aide reported constituents are literally melting the phone line. Some offices' numbers are permanently busy. Thousands and thousands of people are calling their members of Congress demanding Jordan for speaker. But several sources are claiming Scalise is orchestrating the holdout that is preventing Jordan from clenching the speakership, including Debbie Dooley, or is it Debbie Downer? A grassroots activist Louisiana native who probably supports Scalise. Let's see. Debbie Dooley. Time to remove Steve Scalise from being majority leader. He is untrustworthy. What? Wait a minute. That doesn't sound right. Oh. She is from Louisiana and doesn't wants Jim Jordan to be the speaker. It's time to remove Scalise from being majority leader. He is untrustworthy. I'm hearing from very reliable sources that Steve Scalise is doing his favorite thing, backstabbing. Not the first time either. I know what went on a few weeks ago. Representative Scalise advocated a few weeks ago that cuts to Social Security and Medicare cuts would be on the table for debt reduction. Can you say ads throwing grandma off the cliff in 2024? My family lives in his district. Scalise is pretending to support Jim Jordan, but is organizing the ones who refuse to vote for Jordan. He voted for Jordan, but is encouraging others not to behind the scene. Maybe Scalise just wants to be the speaker. I don't know. All right, so that's all we're going to talk about Jim Jordan. Now, Congress is also trending, and this is interesting. Meghan McCain, is that like the Meghan McCain? Like, what's her, John McCain's daughter? Anyway, this is interesting. Apparently, more than 400 anonymous congressional staffers signed an open letter calling for a ceasefire in Gaza and saying they are profoundly disturbed that their bosses' shows of humanity for Israelis have barely been extended to the Palestinian people. Okay, let's see what the letter says. Open letter from congressional staff. We are Jewish and Muslim staffers and allied staff across the Hill. Each day we come to the United States Capitol to serve the American public. Our families, histories, and faith traditions are deeply rooted in Jerusalem, Israel, and Palestine. Well, there's no such thing as Palestine, so how can it be rooted in Palestine? That has never been a place. Anyway, as the children of survivors of slavery, the Holocaust, colonialism, war, and oppression, we feel compelled to raise our voices at this moment. Today, we write to implore our bosses, members of the United States Congress, to join calls for an immediate ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. Millions of lives hang in the balance. Okay, it's again. Are we still in the find out stage yet? Remember Hamas effed around and Israel is doing in the find out stage. I don't know. I know they bombed that hospital, right? Oh wait, they didn't. They didn't bomb the hospital. Never mind. That was the bomb from the Hamas bombed themselves and missed the hospital and only hit the parking lot. We talked about that yesterday. That was bullshit. Anyway, let's see what else they say here. This is especially urgent with anti-Semitism, anti-Muslim, and anti-Palestinian sentiment on the rise nationwide. Yeah. Okay. Which instigated the brutal murder of a 6-year-old Palestinian American child, Wadea al-Fahyoumi. Where was that happen? Okay, we appreciate the members' condemnations of the atrocities committed by Hamas against Israeli citizens. We join in mourning the loss of the 1,400 Israelis murdered by these acts of terrorism and in prayer for the 2,500 injured and around 200 hostages in Gaza, including our fellow Americans whose safe return is a priority for all of us. We join members of Congress and the international community denunciation of the horrific war crimes Hamas has committed. At the same time, we mourn for the Palestinian civilians who are enduring catastrophic suffering at the hands of the Israeli government. As of this writing, more than 6,000 bombs have been dropped in the Gaza Strip. Nearly 4,000 Palestinian civilians, including entire families, have been slain and about 12,500 injured. Do we have confirmation of that? I don't know. I mean, not that. Again, I don't have a beef with the Palestinian citizens, except they keep allowing Hamas to exist. Palestinians in Gaza are facing critical shortages of medicine, food, drinking water, fuel, and electricity following the Israeli government's brutal blockade. Yeah, give up the hostages. That's all they said. Give up the hostages and they'll end this, right? And why is it that Gaza is so dependent on Israel? I mean, they get billions and billions of dollars of aid. Hello, Rod Line. How you doing? Did I say hi to you? I don't know. Anyway, I'm saying it again. If they're getting billions of dollars of aid and then they don't have anything, how does that happen? Where's the money? Oh, I know. They got to buy rockets and build tunnels. I forgot about that. So the $1 billion of aid helps them buy rockets and build tunnels. While President Biden and Secretary Blinken's diplomatic efforts to restore and provide humanitarian aid are crucial, this process is fragile. As Muslims, Jews, and allies, we believe that denying these basic resources violates the tenets of our faith, values, and our humanity. Oh, boy. Batman, they don't allow Hamas to exist. They actively support Hamas. Yes, I know. I was trying to be gentle. I'm a gentle kind of fellow. I'm a gentle guy, okay? Anyway, so we have appreciated seeing nearly every member of Congress express quick and unequivocal solidarity with the Israeli people, but we are profoundly disturbed that such shows of humanity have barely been extended to the Palestinian people, because the Palestinian people are the ones who started this bullshit. If you start a war, FAFO. And I'm sorry, just because Hamas puts their shit around civilian peoples and targets, and especially the sensitive ones. So what? What do you want them to fucking do? I got an idea. Give the hostages back. Give the hostages back. Give the hostages back. That would be a start. To show something that says, yes, we fucked up and we're going to do something correct. Yeah, don't start one, don't be none. Right. Okay, the letter is in the links. I'll make sure that I'll make this a separate. It is a separate link today. It'll be there if you want to read the rest. Now, one of the most important. Now, I've been waiting for this one. I'm moving on, by the way. I have been waiting for this because anything that happens in the world, one of the most important thought leaders, nay, world leader, who inspires greatness and moral thought to millions and maybe even billions of people around the world. I look to this person for moral clarity in things. And that would be the next person who's trending, who is, that'd be Greta Thunberg. Greta Thunberg, Greta Scumberg, someone here calls her. So apparently she posted this on Instagram. Greta Thunberg, free Palestine, this is some friends of hers, free Palestine, climate justice now, stand with Gaza. This Jew stands with Palestine. Well, okay, that's because you're morons. And you're taught in some form of public school education that doesn't tell you what's going on over there. Hamas attacks Israel. Israel reacts. Dems demand ceasefire before Israel fixes the problem. How dare Israel defend itself? Yes, exactly. Hello, James Stoner. How you doing? So, and furry kittens in the house. Lurky, lurky. And nobody not me is over on Rumble. How you doing? Nice to have you here. So anyway, Greta Thunberg, world thought leader, stands with Gaza. Well, at least she spelled Gaza right. I mean, puppeteering of Greta Thunberg. Oh, on October 17th, well, she was detained over in where was that? In London. Anyway, so she's, here's her Twitter thing. Week 270, today we strike in solidarity with Palestinian and Gaza. The world needs to speak up and call for an immediate ceasefire, justice, and freedom for Palestinians and all civilians affected. No word on the Israelis, but it's a thread. So let's read the thread. Let's see. She continues. It has come to my knowledge, your very limited knowledge, it has come to my knowledge that the stuffed animal shown in my earlier post can be interpreted as a symbol for anti-Semitism. What stuffed animal? Uh-oh, she stepped in it. Let's see, can be interpreted as a symbol for anti-Semitism, which I was completely unaware of. The toy in the picture is a tool often used by autistic people as a way to communicate feelings. We are, of course, against any type of discrimination and condemn anti-Semitism in all forms and shapes. This is non-negotiable. That is why I deleted the last post. Well, I guess there's some self-awareness. Let's see here. Imagine what else you don't know despite strong opinions you have on many issues. Also, your explanations as to how the octopus Stuffy was specifically propped up for this specific photo on this specific issue is spurious at best. Apparently this has something to do with, I guess this is something anti-Semitic. Would you have something like this? Anti-Jewish propaganda. Propaganda cartoon by Sepa Jose Planck warning of a worldwide Jewish conspiracy. The cartoon depicts an octopus with a Star of David over its head and tentacles encompassing a globe, Germany, date uncertain. And apparently she had this, here it is. Here's the little stuffed octopus toy she had. And that's a no-no. That is a no, hell to the no, to the no. Okay. Anyway, thank God Greta Thunberg jumped in because I really didn't know what to think of the Israeli-Palestinian or Gaza kerfluffle. And now that Greta has chimed in, now I know what to think. Oh, Lord. All right, let's get into the article that Gunfox said. And I'm reluctant, although obligated. Actually, I'm very proud to delve into this because apparently Joe Biden had a speech yesterday about Israel, and it turned into a support for Ukraine speech, which is unexplainable. Is this the whole thing? How much is this? How long was it?
American leadership is what holds the world
together. So this is just 30 seconds of it. Let's just show you this. Here's 30 seconds of this speech.
American leadership is what holds the world together. American alliances are what keep us, America, safe. American values are what make us a partner that other nations want to work with. To put all that at risk if we walk away from Ukraine, we turn our backs on Israel.
How?
It's not worth it. That's why tomorrow I'm going to send to Congress an urgent budget request to fund America's national security needs, to support our critical partners, including Israel and Ukraine.
Hold up. Hold up. Hey, we don't need to send them more money. Hold up. Hey, this is starting to sound funny. Hold up. So look, has Israel asked for us for any money? Do they need any money from us? They have one of the most advanced systems in the world. Hell, duck and felonies. They have one of the most advanced anti-missile defense systems in the world, the most advanced anti-missile defense system in the world that they came up with. They have one of the most capable armies in the world, capable militaries in the world, and I'm sure they're just loaded weapons. In fact, I bet they have more weapons than we do. Why is it that now, if they ask for aid, for example, we do have the carrier group out there in the Mediterranean just in case Iran decides to get froggy, right? But why is he going to ask for a package of money for that and Ukraine? And again, Ukraine again, because he asks money for Ukraine about every 2 months. Why? Yes, nobody, not me. Stop giving away money, retard. We're broke. So here we go. Here's the article. Thank you, GunFox61 again. Oh, by the way, well, I appreciate people being able to donate because we're having little issues here in Minnesota. So anytime you can drop a couple deuces in the tip jar, I really appreciate it. You just don't know. All right, U.S. President Joe Biden has said world history is at an inflection point. He's using that inflection point talking point a lot lately. By the way, I'm sorry, he's not using it. His writers are using it. Hello, those ain't real, dude. And unacceptable views. I think I said it already. So anyway, in a speech at the White House, he said Hamas and Russia both wanted to annihilate a neighboring country, democracy. Okay, hold up. Does Russia want to annihilate a neighboring democracy? I mean, they haven't really shown signs that they want to and whether you think it's wrong or right. AD is in the house. What's up, man? Okay, whether it's wrong or right, are they trying to annihilate Ukraine? They want to take over a region where there's a lot of Russian people there, right? But that's not what they're trying. There's a difference between what Russia's doing, and I don't agree with what Russia's doing either, and what Israel's doing, or what Gaza's doing. Israel does not want to annihilate the Palestinian people or people living in Gaza. Okay, the people, right? However, the people in Gaza want to wipe those people, the Stars of David's peoples, off the map. There's a difference, then, right? Oh, there's that Superstar sponsor link. I'm gonna pin that. There we go. So just the first sentence, or this sentence, doesn't make sense. Russia does not want to annihilate a neighboring democracy. They just want to take some land from them. Pretty oil-rich land, okay? Remember, at the very beginning of this, no one really talked about the oil. Why did they take over Crimea? Well, they discovered a huge reserve of oil in Crimea, and the Russians are going to take this back. Then they discovered a huge thing of oil in the Donbas region. Now the Russians want to take this back. But there are tons of Russian-speaking people in the Donbas area. So there's this dispute of whose it was, and really, was it Russia? Wasn't Ukraine originally part of Russia at some point in time? I don't know. And Kyiv was like a capital or some shit. I don't remember. So anyway, Mr. Biden said he would send an urgent funding request, expected to be $105 billion with the B, to Congress on Friday. But the House of Representatives has no leader and can't approve any spending. Oh, darn. Oh, no. I feel so bad. Anytime our Congress isn't working, it saves us some money. Mr. Biden's rare primetime address to the nation from the Oval Office on Thursday evening was just the second of his presidency. And, of course, he didn't take questions there because it's just one of those Oval Office addresses. But he didn't take questions anyway, so it doesn't matter. It came a day after his whirlwind trip to Israel following the attacks by Hamas on October 7th. Mr. Biden said the emergency aid request would pay dividends for American security for generations. Will it now? Because got a bunch of those people, those want to kill us, coming for the southern border. Anyway, in his 15-minute address, he also condemned any acts of hatred against Jews or Muslims in the U.S. Agree. No need for that shit. We're Americans over here. We don't care if you're Jew or Muslim or Christian or whatever, although it's been happening. And condemned the fatal stabbing of a 6-year-old Palestinian American Wadea al-Fayoum in Chicago this week. Now, I am really curious about that one. I didn't hear about it. Anyone know about that or have a link to an article about that? Was it because he was a Palestinian American, or is this just some Chicago shit? That's what I'm wondering. It probably just some Chicago shit. I mean, anyway, we must, without equivocation, denounce anti-Semitism, he said. We must also, without equivocation, denounce Islamophobia. The White House has not yet officially released details about the expected aid package, but a source familiar with the request told the BBC, not the good kind, U.S. partner CBS News, it would include $60 billion. Okay. Listen to these numbers. $60 billion for Ukraine. We're up over what? Are we at $300 billion for them yet so far? I don't know. It's somewhere in that. It's well more than $100 billion so far. Let's put it that way. 60 billion for Ukraine. $14 billion for Israel. Has Israel requested $14 billion from us? And for what? Israel. $10 billion for humanitarian efforts. Oh, you know what that means. You know what that means, right? $10 billion for Hamas. $7 billion for the Indo-Pacific region, including Taiwan, and $14 billion for U.S. border security. So of the 105, let's see, 6, 74, 84, 91, 101, 105. Of the 105 billion with the B dollars, 14 billion is for U.S. border security. Hello, Eric Eats Don Jr.'s. I have no idea what that's a weird day. You know, that's weird, Eric. That's just weird, but welcome to the show. Let's see, 217 is an important number for Jim spelled Jim Jordan. So you're an anti-Jordan person. But 48 is more important. That's the number of OSU wrestlers that were sexually molested, which Jordan was a coach as he swept it all under the rug. Well, thank you for pointing that out. And I'm glad you're here. That seems to be a theme among people who hate Jim Jordan. And I don't know, that case, have they done anything about him yet? And why wouldn't they have done anything about him? I'm just curious. There's got to be a reason, but I appreciate you contributing to the show. All right. So let's see. Mr. Biden also took great care to stress his sympathy for the suffering of Palestinian people in Gaza, as well as talking about meeting the families of Israeli and U.S. victims. Well, that's good that he also acknowledged the Israeli and U.S. victims. No, he's been doing that. I can't fault what the writers for Joe Biden have said about Israel, so it's all good. I'm not gonna criticize it on that. I'm curious about the $105 billion though. So, but the request will arrive in an effectively frozen Congress as House Republicans have been unable to elect a speaker after Kevin McCarthy was ousted in a right-wing revolt more than 2 weeks ago. Mr. Biden, who is a Democrat. Oh, I didn't know that. Thank you, BBC. Oh, I suppose if you're BBC and your primary audience is not from here, they might not know that. So that's good to tell them. Did not explicitly address the political dysfunction, though he acknowledged divisions at home. We have to get past them, he said. We can't let petty partisan, angry politics get in the way of our responsibility as a great nation. We cannot and will not let terrorists like Hamas and tyrants like Putin win. I refuse to let that happen. Yeah, it's weird how none of this happened when President Bonespur, as Eric says. Are you here to troll? Or are you just here to? Are you here with anything that's worthwhile to say, Eric? You want to follow the topic? All right, that's cool. You can do that though. I don't care. Look, here's the thing about my show, and I want to make it perfectly clear. I welcome people who don't agree with me, and clearly Eric doesn't seem to agree with me, and he's very upset with some people. He seems to have a little bit of a derangement towards these. He describes which MAGA pervert. That's interesting. It's had the biggest sex scandal. Trump, Rudy, Matt Gaetz, MTG, Kristi Noem, Lauren Boebert, Corey Lewandowski matched that. Well, there's a whole list of people who made their way to Epstein Island that were mostly Democrats, dude. So, including, the her lady. Who's the her? I'm with her lady, her husband. Yeah. Anyway. So look, I don't like any of the Congress critters or any of the people in politics that entrench themselves and make too much money because they have entrenched themselves and made themselves rich when they are on a weird salary. And so all the perverts, whatever, in what do you call it? All the perverts in Congress, all of them. I'm equal opportunity. Fuck all of them. So there you go. Even though I'm definitely on the right. Thank you. And by the way, I'm not a MAGA show. People will let you know that eventually. I'm more of a because I think Trump's a jackass, but he's the jackass we need right now compared to sponge brain shit pants. So anyway, the Republican leader of the Senate has indicated willingness to take up the measure, but there is opposition within the party. 8 Republicans, led by Kansas Senator Roger Marshall, wrote in a letter, "These are two separate and unrelated conflicts, and it would be wrong to leverage support of aid to Israel in an attempt to get additional aid for Ukraine across the finish line." And that's exactly why I laughed at these numbers, okay? $60 billion for Ukraine and replenishing U.S. stockpiles. Well, the reason the U.S. stockpiles need replenishing is because of Ukraine. We've been giving them a lot of shit, and then Joe Biden mentioned, we're running out of shit. Maybe we should restock that. Oh, military industrial complex. Let's go. And then, let's put it this way. More than half of this $105 billion with a B Joe Biden's asking for is going to Ukraine. Interesting. That's really interesting. All right. So, and then he had some other stuff about the terrorists can't win, yada, yada, yada. So, it'll be interesting to see if they get that package. They should all be completely different bills. I cannot stand freaking omnibus type legislation, even if it's small scale omnibus legislation. You should have to pass every single thing in that list that Joe Biden's given you separately, not a single bill. That's bullshit. And you should be able to weigh the pros and cons of each single item separately. But until we have a Speaker of the House, hey, they won't be spending more of our money. Hello, Special Can Acid. How you doing? All right. Thank you, Gun Fox, for that article. Well, we're doing one more because you sent me 2. Here's another one. This is CNN Opinion. Opinion. Sidney Powell's plea is bad news for Trump and other co-defendants. Well, here we go. Eric, this will be right up your alley. Isn't that great? You'll like this one. Let's see. And I don't understand why you eat Don Jr.'s ass. Really? Is that your thing? You eat ass? That's fantastic. Good for you. I don't eat ass because I may talk shit, but I don't eat it. Anyway, when Sidney Powell famously threatened to release the Kraken, she surely meant something different than what has come to pass. Okay, I botched that sentence. I sound like Joe Biden sometimes. I love Sidney's plea. Good for you. I laughed at it actually because she's went from felonies to a single misdemeanor, and sure, she has to testify, but what's she testifying for? That they've tried to find legal means to, figure out what the hell was going on in Georgia. We'll see what happens. Whatever. Anyway, having failed to keep former President Donald Trump in the White House through allegedly illegal schemes, allegedly, that's interesting. At least they used allegedly. Oh, this is Jennifer Rogers. She's a former federal prosecutor. Interesting. To overturn the 2020 election results, leading to criminal charges in Georgia, Powell has released herself from the case by pleading guilty to 6 misdemeanor offenses. Excuse me, 6 misdemeanors. Look, here's what they were going to do. They were going to bankrupt her, and they talked her into pleading. She's an attorney. She knows how it works. They were going to bankrupt her, and then they were going to force her to go through the appeals process, probably all the way to the Supreme Court. They said, you know what, here, you plead guilty to these misdemeanor charges, and we'll slap a small fine on you, and you'll get probation. And she took the deal because they were going to destroy her financially. That's their goal. And that's one of the problems with a lot of federal prosecutions. And I don't mean just these political ones. I mean a lot of federal prosecutions. That you get plea deals for people who maybe should have fought their case and all sorts of things because the prosecutors convince you that you are going to be in jail for a very long time. They're going to give you the maximum. They're going to put you away forever. And so you do a plea deal. And now, well, here's Sidney Powell. So Powell's testimony is hugely important for her plea. And her plea is a big breakthrough for prosecutors. She is the first cooperating witness who was part of the limited group that met with Trump to craft the plans to overthrow the election. I like the language she uses here. You mean to dispute the election? But they were to overthrow the election. Anyway, she was also present in an infamous meeting at the White House in December 18, 2020 that devolved into a screaming match. To date, outside advisors like Powell, who supported plans to seize voting machines, among other things, had maintained in subpoena testimony that their actions were justified. The existence of the plea deal suggests her testimony at trial will be different, and that Georgia prosecutors are not only convinced that it is credible and reliable, but also that it can help them convict their defendants in the case. As a result, Powell's plea could be devastating for Trump and her other former co-defendants in the Georgia election interference case. Her testimony could potentially play a significant role in the federal election interference case brought by special counsel Jack Smith as well. Well, now, in the Georgia case, the most immediate impact of Powell's plea is likely to be felt by her co-defendants in the Georgia case, starting with Kenneth Chesebro. That's another name I can't pronounce because that's not unusual. Reportedly rejected this recent plea offer. Oh, okay. The alleged architect of the fake electors plot. Really? A fake electors plot? You mean like the one they used in Hawaii in 1960? That's the alternate electors that they used in Hawaii in 1960. Remember, this is not new. That's where they got the ideas from. Anyway, let's go back. Let's listen. That's a little history lesson for Eric. Anyway, hang on a second. I lost my spot. There we go. Fake election plot. Whose trial starts next week? Chesebro. Anyone know how to say that? Can anyone know the phonetics on that? Chesebro. Reportedly rejected a plea deal offer, according to sources who spoke to ABC. Perhaps he may reconsider now that Powell has pleaded and is prepared to testify. Again, why do people do plea deals? Either they are guilty of something, but more often it's just to go through the trial and take a chance. And especially what they were going to throw at her, they were going to throw felonies at her. And now they're misdemeanors. She's pleading guilty to misdemeanors, getting a tiny fine and a slap on the wrist probation. Bankruptcy, probation. Prosecutors should use focus more intensely. Powell's cooperation is also very bad news for 2 other of the group's defendants in the Georgia case. Remember, this is not the case that involves Trump at all. This is a different case. This is the one with Giuliani and others. Oh, wait, maybe it is. Anyway, The lower-level defendants indicted over their actions in Coffee County, Georgia, should be very concerned about proceeding to trial with a second cooperating witness now on board after Scott Hall, a Georgia bail bondsman, reached a plea deal in September. But more critically, Powell's interaction with Trump and his inner circle mean that the most important names at the top of the indictment, particularly Trump, former White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, and Trump's personal lawyer Rudy Giuliani, could be directly implicated by her personal testimony. Truthful testimony by Powell should include her involvement in the plans to steal the 2020 election through false public statements, frivolous litigation, the seizing of voting machines, and the sidelining of Trump's actual legal advisors in favor of Powell and others willing to do whatever it took to succeed. Isn't that what lawyers do? I'm not sure about that. Powell's testimony should also include what Trump, Meadows, Giuliani, and others said in meetings and other interactions in which the plot and its execution were discussed. This insider's view was something that had been previously missing, and it would likely be devastating at trial. Many of Powell's past statements have been egregiously false, like baseless claims that the Clinton Foundation philanthropist George Soros and former Venezuelan president Hugo Chavez were responsible for manipulating voting machines to change the results, and her connection to the key figure in the QAnon conspiracy world must have been troubling to Fulton County District Attorney Fannie Willis's team as they thought about her as a government witness. Now, it's interesting about that. That whole thing was BS. I don't know where she came up with the Hugo Chavez thing. Now, granted, I know they had this voting machine thing going on down there, but that's not, that was weird. I always thought that was weird. That suggests to me that prosecutors, to sign this deal and have confidence in Powell as a witness, Powell must have fully conceded that her prior positions were baseless and false and that she will come clean about that on the stand. Well, that's the part that I'm curious about. So she's agreed to testify. Did they ask her specific things she's going to testify? And will she testify to those things on the stand? That's going to be fascinating as this goes on. Powell was identified as an unnamed co-conspirator in Special Counsel Jack Smith's indictment, which means that a charge in that case may be coming. If that comes to pass, it is unclear whether Powell would cooperate in that case. Just because she struck a plea deal with Willis's office doesn't necessarily mean she will do the same in the federal election interference case. They're different cases, different. There's a whole lot of different issues. And the federal case, it may not ever make it anywhere because, well, we've already talked about the constitutional implications there. And whether or not, even in the federal case, even if there were false statements made, there are certainly First Amendment issues, there are Fourth Amendment issues, there's all kinds of things. So we've been in depth on that before. But the fact, okay, we did that one. But a federal prosecutor do charge at minimum, federal prosecutors will have more information to decide what to do about Powell and how to proceed, which can only help them as they move toward Trump's March 2024 trial date. You know, the problem, there's another problem here, is that, oh no, this is the other case. I'm sorry, I'm in the wrong case. That's the Chutkin case, the gag order case. That's the case that may go to the Supreme Court before it even gets started. That'll be interesting. But Powell's legal troubles are not over. She still faces potential jeopardy in the federal election interference case, as well as major lawsuits by 2 voting machine companies. There have also been efforts to sanction or disbar her in jurisdictions in which she filed and litigated frivolous lawsuits and made defamatory claims, which may gain steam following her guilty plea. But she has limited the damage to herself in Georgia. There's the key. That's why you plea, while at the same time providing prosecutors with a major weapon in their efforts to hold the rest of the defendants, including former President Trump, accountable for their conduct. So there you go. This is CNN. I did not have that on the screen the whole time. Well, there's the picture they use, everyone's favorite picture of Sidney Powell. So sorry about that. I thought it was on the screen. I wasn't paying attention. I was too enthralled with this. Moving on. Insurrection is trending. Insurrection. There's another insurrection, but nobody's calling it insurrection. There's a whole stuff. It's trending because of what happened yesterday. There was a a massive protest in Washington, D.C. In Congress. They took over the congressional office building. No, this is the Capitol. Oh no, the Cannon House office building. People are arrested. Violence against cops. It was an insurrection. I mean, that's the definition of insurrection, right? If all that stuff happened. Anyway, 3 charged with assault on a police officer after nearly 300 protesters were arrested near the Capitol. Now, let me find my little link here. I had a link to this. There was a picture, which I was fascinating with. Maybe it's still here somewhere. It's gone. Shoot, that's too bad. Anyway, let's get back to this one. In the U.S. Capitol Police say at least 3 people have been charged with assault on a police officer while processing close to 300 arrests during the protest near the U.S. Capitol on Wednesday. The people were arrested during a protest by an organization calling for a ceasefire in Gaza as part of the Israeli-Hamas war. A large group of protesters were walking in the roadway around the house side of the Capitol complex. For safety reasons, we have temporary rolling road closures in effect, U.S. Capitol Police tweeted. An organization called Jewish Voice for Peace says on its website events page about its protest, quote, many of us are mourning our Israeli and Palestinian friends and loved ones. We are in pain and grief, trying to process a week of horrific violence that has left so many that we know injured, traumatized, kidnapped, or killed. But we refuse to let our grief be weaponized to justify the murder of more Palestinians. As American Jews, we demand the ceasefire now. No genocide in our name. Protesters were inside and outside the Cannon office building when they were arrested, which is across the street from the Capitol. So some of the protests was here. Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Okay, little glitch there, sorry. So this is just the outside of the Cannon office building. They also had protests inside. Here's a report from WSA 9 in, I believe, D.C.
Instead, a group of protesters have taken over the Cannon office building and the surrounding area. Let's go live to our Adam Longo, who's been on Capitol Hill all day today. And Adam, bring us up to speed here. What's happening?
All right, so Simone, first things first, the Cannon office building is no longer occupied by these protesters.
Oh,
I've got
they
two
left.
different things I'm going to show you. First to over here. This is Independence Avenue. A number of protesters have blocked Independence Avenue. They marched up from the mall. They have been out here since about 3:15. They're gathered peacefully, holding signs, chanting, "Free Palestine, not in our name." So a number of them are right there. There are some speakers addressing the crowd. Capitol Police is just letting them live and let live at this point. But over here, look right here. You see these folks in the black shirts that say, "Jews say ceasefire now." These are a group of more than 100 people who were arrested after coming inside of the Cannon office building rotunda, causing a disturbance, according to Capitol Police, putting up a banner. Here comes somebody new out of office building. Right over here to the left, Mike, and much to the applause of some of the supporters that you're seeing right here. So let's take you some video from inside of Cannon and show you what that looked like when this
here's my question about this. And I am fully of support of people's right to protest. And but I'm going to use kind of history as my guide here. So the 100 people who were arrested inside the Cannon building, will they be charged with parading and all this other stuff that the people on January 6th were charged with? And I'm not, the violent ones on January 6th, fuck them. If they were fighting with the police, whatever. Of course, then again, when the Capitol Police began firing flashbangs, that's when all hell broke loose. But whatever. The people who are breaking into the Capitol, like who actually did the breaking in and so on, prosecute them to fuck's end, right? The people who just ended up in there, like who were waved in by police and whatnot, those are the ones who you go, wow, they sat in jail, some of them over 2 years before they got into trial, and then ended up being charged with parading. What the fuck is parading? and you know, obstruction of in a federal building, whatever. Well, let's see if these people's charges get dropped, or are they going to follow through with that same precedent of the last insurrection, right? So I'm just curious. I'm very curious how that's going to turn out with those 100. They've arrested a bunch of people. I bet you they've all been released on their own recognizance, right? Because, you know, how many of them will even come back to court?
Scene unfolded. It would have been just about 3 o'clock this afternoon. Now, I asked somebody, because all of the folks who are coming out here are under arrest.
By the way, I don't think they should be prosecuted in the way the January 6th people have been. That's not my point. But my point is, will they be consistent? I guarantee you they will not. I guarantee you not a single charge will go to court, except for maybe the 3 that assaulted Capitol Police. And even then, I bet none of them will get more than a slap on the wrist. I'm going to bet. I'm just marking my I'm marking my prediction now. Mark my damn words, bitches. All right, I'm not going to play the rest of it, but the link's there. All right, let's move on. We've got a few more articles to go through, and then we're going to get out of here. Do we have any Q&A yet? I haven't even checked the Q&A. On YouTube, there's a Q&A section. Let me check here if there are any questions. Holy shit. Okay, we're gonna. There are a lot of questions, so we'll get. I'm gonna save myself a little time. Let's go through the last articles, and then we're gonna get through here. This is gonna be a. I'm gonna do a lightning round here. Anyway, by the way, we talked about the New York Times and that their changing of the hospital bombing story over, quietly changed the hospital bombing story. Well, here's another one thing they did with this. So they printed this photo with the fake Gaza hospital bombing story, which Breitbart calls astonishing disinformation. The New York Times represented a photo of a semi-demolished building to be the location of a Gaza hospital, which the paper initially reported on Tuesday as hit by an Israeli strike. According to its own wire service, the Times identified the location of the photo to be in Khan Yunis, a locality in the south of the Gaza Strip, which is not in the northern area of Gaza City. The Times photo depicts a structure halfway demolished in an entirely different scene than photos reported by other establishment outlets. For example, CNN and the Wall Street Journal reported photos of the blast area showing what appeared to be a parking lot with trees nearby and without the building debris. When the New York Times published a fictitious story from Hamas about Israel bombing a hospital, the New York Times used a picture from a completely different location to make it look like a picture of the hospital that was destroyed, author and lawyer Michael P. Stenger posted on X. Astonishing disinformation and journalistic malpractice. So here's the photo that the New York Times put on their front page with the Israeli hospital bombing. The Israeli strike with the first article. Israeli strike kills hundreds in a hospital, Palestinians say. This picture is not the hospital. They just dug out a photo of a destroyed building and put it on as their headline, and then they changed the article twice because then they realized, that's not what happened. Parking lot, right? What the fuck? Moving on. Thank you, Grumpy Hotep, aka Reaction Puerto Rico. Now he dropped this little video in here saying, "I'm sure this is CNN will blame Donald Trump for whatever this is." We're gonna play the video and show you what he showed us. Good morning, all you need. What's up? Welcome back. Here it is.
Because this is kind of where the clashes happens. So, all right. You are genocide supporters. You are not welcome here. Genocide supporters. Fuck CNN. Fuck CNN.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Fuck CNN. I'm okay. Okay, hold up.
All right. You see that people.
I I think I'm liking the Palestinian guy better just because he said fuck CNN. Oh, goodness gracious. Hello, Chris Coleman, furry kitten, by the way. All right. So anyway, yeah, that's Trump's fault, though. It's definitely Trump's fault that the Palestinian protester is saying fuck CNN. Just saying. All right, in the New York Post, this is an article by a couple law students who have an opinion piece in the New York Post about the pro-Hamas protests on campuses. Americans are shocked and horrified as university and law school students nationwide show support for the terrorist group Hamas after its heinous attacks against the Jewish people. Quote, Israel bears full responsibility for the tremendous loss of life, declared the NYU Student Bar Association president. Israel is, quote, entirely responsible for all unfolding violence, end quote, more than 30 Harvard student groups stated. Quote, this apartheid regime is the only one to blame, end quote. These statements do not feature geopolitical commentary, just brazen support for terrorism. The statements do not, as law students who have witnessed firsthand the ideological takeover of American universities, we aren't surprised, not by the statements or the administration's slow response to them. Administration offices have prioritized demonstrations of activism from potential applicants, and professors teach power struggle among groups as the primary analytical lens through which to view the world. No! What is that? That's critical theory. Everything's about a power struggle. Everything's a power struggle, right? Whether it's critical race theory, critical queer theory, or whatever. Critical theory is the teaching of power struggle, and that's all they teach in universities these days. The end result is an ideological pressure cooker where students armed with misapplied academic theories support terrorist groups and expect to be praised for their view. Well, they get A's for their views. Make no mistake, students' behavior should not be excused. It is repugnant and paints a frightening image of the future of academic institutions in our country. But surely these statements exist, don't call me Shirley, because those making them felt confident their views would be accepted if not praised. But a few of them lost some job offers. The outside academia should know these students are likely shocked that wider society is not applauding their actions. They don't see these statements as particularly heterodox. In fact, the opposite. Why? Well, schools have, by their own design, become devoid of free inquiry and exchange, adopting instead homogenous sets of viewpoints, many of them extremely radical. An elite American institution's average student body is no longer a representative sample of adolescents with top GPAs and test scores. For years, admissions offices across the country have deliberately, hold on, she's about to say something racist, I guarantee it. Not really, but that's what people will call it. For years, admissions offices across the country have deliberately prioritized passion for social justice and activism in potential applicants, to their detriment. While community engagement is worthwhile pursuit, at 17 years old, zealous activism for any complex cause is too often accompanied by a lack of intellectual curiosity and misplaced confidence in one's point of view. Have you changed your mind on fundamental issues since the age of 17? We sure have. Yet increasingly, these young activists have neither the opportunity nor the incentive to allow their thinking to evolve. Their views are rewarded by admissions offices around the country, then encouraged and intensified by like-minded students and faculty members. The cycle repeats in law schools. In elite institutions particularly, good jobs are nearly guaranteed. Well, they FAFO'd and find out that not so much anymore, because when people are finding out you crazy nutballs are saying some stupid shit, they're saying, oh, now we're going to resend that job offer. Anyway, but yeah, their jobs are, let's see. No, I skipped it. I lost my place. At least institutions, particularly, good jobs are nearly guaranteed, irrespective of students' ability to display intellectual curiosity or exercise good judgment. Curious students without such convictions who secure spots at top universities are generally in the minority. They must be careful articulating their views lest they commit a microaggression against peers. All the while, students proudly support terrorists, ostracize their Jewish peers, and espouse views nothing short of moral degradation under the guise of the activism institutions have so loudly praised. Why are gifted students so willing to go along, especially when the end result is anti-Semitism? While the wider population wonders in horror, the explanation is simple, albeit anticlimactic. They are doing precisely what the educational system rewards, applying the logic that they have learned, even it leads them into to immoral ends. Now, I'm going to stop there. You can read the rest yourself, but this brings me to the point that I make a lot about like all the trans and identity education that's going on in schools, where because they reward this, certain, the certain ideology, that the people, the kids who they successfully get to change themselves get so much praise. Well, what do kids need? What do kids crave? That, whether they get it at home or not, kids crave praise. And so if you're constantly praising one certain ideology, of course, those kids are going to gravitate towards that ideology. And that's the same here. If these universities are rewarding this almost Marxist, activism, the critical theory of, everyone's, there are only oppressors and oppressed, that's what they're going to continue to do. They're going to continue to promote that, be activists within that. And it's just nuts. They're instead of learning how to think, they guide you to think how they think. And it's nonsense. So anyway, that's the New York Post. Now, I do have a happy story in the New York Post. I'm going to skip that one. I'm going to get rid of Ace because I do want to get to the questions today. Oh, here's a good story. Here's a happy story. In a way, I mean, let's see. Let's just see what the video is. Maybe it's not too long. Let's show. This is the New York Post too. In fact, it's about a New York cop who breaks down in tears after talking a suicidal man down from a Manhattan overpass. Let's see.
I've been in your shoes, man, right? It's not worth it, right? And listen, I'm a man, you're a man. You understand what I'm saying? And like I said, I've been in your shoes, brother, and there is solutions. You are stronger than this. Just give me a chance, brother. You are lovely, brother. I care for you, brother. I love you. I love you. Please listen to my voice. I love you. I love you, brother. I care for you, brother. You have my shoulder, brother. You know my shoulder, brother. I promise you, you're my friend. I promise you that we're gonna be fighting together. I promise you that I will give you the services that you need. I love you, brother. You're a beautiful man, brother. Please don't give up on me, brother. Life is beautiful, brother. You're a beautiful brother. Life is beautiful, brother. Just listen to my voice, brother.
So he broke down in tears after helping talk a suicidal man down from a Manhattan overpass in a rarely seen raw moment captured on police body cam. The harrowing clip posted in the department on X Wednesday shows an officer, Carl Fayette, and Elidoro Mata calmly reassuring a man that he stands on the edge of the raised Riverside Drive Bridge in Manhattanville on October 5th. I mean, you saw, I guess the video is basically self-explanatory, but congratulations to these officers being able to help this guy, out of that situation. And hopefully they do get the guy some help. Someone gets him some help. But I'll leave the article in the links. All right, let's go to the questions today. We'll try to get through these as quickly as possible. Looks like let's go there. I'm going to get rid of the pinned comments here. All right, let's start with the questions for today. I didn't put myself on the screen. Sayan Wizard asks, I'm new here. How old are you? I am old enough to be your grandfather, probably. No, I don't know, because I don't know how old you are. My 60th birthday will be on April 4th. I don't look it though, do I? Not a day over 59. Thank you. The Batman, what was Superman's grandfather called? Grandpa. The Batman, what was the name of Captain Kirk's brother? I don't know. What James is, well, it wasn't, it's Mr. Kirk. I don't know. Sayan Wizard, is this your hobby or career? Oh boy. I would be dead if this was my career, but it is definitely a hobby, and it's just something that I do for fun. But I've been doing this for fun for over 5 years and over 1,100 episodes, and I'm going to continue to do it as long as I can. Although I might have to make some changes in my life and my schedule, so it may end up being an evening show or something sometime soon. We'll talk about that another time. Batman, is that spider hanging behind you poisonous? Oh no, that's Freddy. Freddy's just a little pet of mine. He hangs up in the ceiling up here, and it's all good. Freddy's harmless, at least to me. Now, if you try to attack me, Freddy's going to bite your ass, and he's got some poison in there. So there you go. Sayan Wizard, where do you live in America? You don't have to mention the state, just the general direction. Well, everyone knows that I live in the Twin Cities of Minnesota. I'm happy to know if people know that I live in the Twin Cities. I don't care. Look, if you go into my linked, I have a linked tree in somewhere in there in the description that everyone already knows about me. And so it's really easy to dox or whatever. But I live in Minnesota. Grand Inquisitor Ty Alexander says, would you pay money to see a sumo match between Lizzo and Tess Holiday? Bonus question, nude mud wrestling match. Okay, definitely no to the second part of that, because I might throw up. Would I pay to see a sumo match between Lizzo and Tess Holiday, though? I don't know if I'd pay. I might watch out of curiosity if it was on the internet and then someone maybe posted it on Twitter, but I definitely wouldn't pay to see it. But I think Lizzo would whoop that. That would whoop that ass. Lizzo's actually I wouldn't say she's in pretty good shape, but she's somewhat athletic for a giant woman. So I'm sure. Let's see. Gunfox, do you think Jim Jordan will get the votes to become speaker? If not, who do you think might become the speaker? You know, I have no idea. At this point, I don't think those holdouts on Jim Jordan are going to relent unless there's some major pressure put on by somebody. And who's going to put that pressure on? The president's not theirs. Are they going to want to start passing bills? Frankly, I'm happy they don't. You know me. If anytime Congress is not working, we're better off. I'm just saying. We can live without Congress for a very long time. Until the functions of government. Look, I always laugh because they say, "Oh, government shutdown. There's going to be a government shutdown." Government shutdown means there are permanent things that run regardless of the government shut down. And so this is not a government shutdown, but it's just they're not passing anything because the House of Representatives is not going into session because they don't have a speaker. Will it be Jim Jordan? No. Who could it be? Who could it be now? I have no idea. Maybe it's good. If it's not Jim Jordan, they're going to go back to another swamp creature type. And frankly, I think they should just have Jordan do it and see what happens. Okay, that's my answer. The Batman, how many working brain cells does Joe Biden have left? Oh, I skipped a couple. I'm sorry. Let me go back. Okay, I'll come back to that. Who is the fastest Flash or Speedy Gonzalez? Clearly, the Flash is faster. Okay, Speedy's got those little legs, and it just can't, just can't quite keep up. But he's fast for a mouse. Okay, he's really fast for a mouse, but not fast enough to get the Flash. Gotcha. Pancakes, waffles, or French toast? Oh, that's a tough one. Okay, it really depends. So I like pancake. If it was my choice, a really good Pannenkuchen, which is a kind of I think it's a Swedish pancake, is really good. Or a Belgian waffle with all the stuff on it, like any of your favorite stuff, I love. I'll pick waffles. Batman, who put the bow in the bow-chi bow-chi bow? That would be Bowser from Sha-Na-Na. Avocados Diabli, why do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? It's because I'm the one who fills the bird feeders. Batman, how many working brain cells does Joe Biden have left? I'm going to say 60%. Okay. 60%, he can still talk and read shit. Okay. Doesn't always know what he's reading and doesn't always say it right, but he still can talk and read shit. So that's not a number, but that is some. And to Sully, how many do you have to breathe? That's a good question. there you go. Let's see. Lord Stanhope, what extinct / defunct brand of beer, soda, or liquor would you like to bring back and why? That's tough because I don't even know which ones are extinct. Oh, I know. Falstaff. That's the beer that we had. They brewed it in Omaha. When I was in high school, we drank Falstaff. And even when we go back to Omaha, we would drink Falstaff, and that is one that's defunct. So there you go. That's my answer. Falstaff. Select a boy. Will the bell go dong for the Phillies? I'm not watching baseball. I stopped watching when the Twins got knocked out, and I haven't paid attention since. I know they won the other night, like 1-0, and did you see the tackle though? That was awesome. The fan that ran on the field after the game, and security tackled him. I wish I had that video handy. That was some Dick Butkus shit. Just bam, just took him out. It was awesome. Okay. Chris Kroll says, will they rename that Palestinian hospital the St. Fentanyl Floyd Memorial Hospital? No, because it's still there and they're not renaming it. They'll maybe the parking lot, okay? Because the parking lot's made of pavement, and that's, oh God, I can't believe I almost said this. I'm not going to say it. Anyway, they might rename the parking lot. Blackout 8877, what's your bet on Biden ascending from this mortal coil this year? I predicted when Joe Biden was elected president that he would not make it through a full term. And he has already exceeded my expectations, because I thought it would be after probably March of this year that he'd be done. And he's still going. Now, he's not going to pass, I don't think. Are some of this drip of the corruption stuff, is that ever going to touch him as the Justice Department starts to press charges against his son, and there's a whole lot of just drip from Congress? I don't think they're going to impeach him, because that would be impossible, because the Democrats won't allow that. But the Democrats also don't want him to run. They're like, he's the president. We have to defer to him, but we'd really rather have somebody else run, because, he's going to lose, and he's making it bad for all of us. And he's going to probably, with 22 senators on the line in the next election, we're probably going to lose the Senate too, because Tester's gone for sure. Manchin probably is going to be gone. And there's some surprise ones that might be gone. So the flip of the Senate and the presidency isn't a good thing for Democrats, because, that hammer's coming, but it's going to be see if that hammer's going to have funny hair or not, because they're doing everything they can to put him away. I would think, Now, look, I don't know if this would be good for the country or not, but it'd be funny. It'd be just fodder for people like me who talk about this shit all the time. They indict Trump, right? They've indicted him, and he is found guilty. And for some reason, they try to go put him in prison, but he appeals the convictions. Okay, so he can stay out of jail while he's appealing all the convictions, right? It goes past election time, and he becomes president of the United States again. I just want to see the heads exploding when he pardons himself. That would be freaking awesome. Now, you can't pardon yourself in New York, but New York is just a civil case where he might have to pay a big fine, and they're going to try to take all his livelihood away, at least in New York. The Georgia case is the one where you go, could he end up in jail for that? But that even could end up, even though it has to go through this Georgia appeals process, that could end up going to the Supreme Court too, because of the fact that maybe that should have been some kind of federal deal having to do with the presidential election. I don't know. I mean, because they broke Georgia law, so I don't know if you can do that or not. We'll see. But my God. Because granted, the appeals process will go well into 25, maybe deep into 26 on any of these things. If any of these things he is found guilty on, the appeals process is going to go into at least 2 years. So, still running for president. He could still end up being president. That's the question. So, all right, moving on. Avocados Diabli. A blonde and a brunette fall off a building. Who hits first? The brunette? The brunette. The blonde has to stop and ask directions. Okay, that's just a joke, but that is a very good joke. Very good. I'm sorry I read it so poorly. By the way, if you want to ask questions on Rumble, you can. You can just add some question marks, right? Add some question marks, like 3 or 4 question marks so I can see it prominently. Okay. So Furry Kitten says, should we have an Airwolf / Knight Rider crossover, complete with banging theme tune, with the threat of imprisonment if they screw the pooch? What? Should we have a Airwolf Knight Rider crossover, complete with banging theme tune, with the threat of imprisonment if they screw the pooch? I don't know what that question means. But, an Airwolf Knight Rider crossover, like where the plane talks to the whatever, that'd be kind of cool. I don't know the practicality of such a thing, but yeah, that'd be kind of cool. A plane with that has its own mind. Okay, Kara Soldier, IHOP, Denny's, or Waffle House? Oh, that's actually pretty easy. Waffle House, because one, the food's good and the value's good. IHOP's turned into this, like, we're going to charge it $19 for 3 pancakes place. And Denny's is okay, but I'm not a fan of Denny's. I mean, we have Perkins here in Minnesota, which they're okay. But you know what I prefer? I prefer a local diner, like just an old-fashioned local greasy spoon diner. But if I've got between 3, it'd be Waffle House. Although we don't have Waffle House where I live. You have to go to the south to go to a Waffle House. But I love the pecan waffles they do. Those are really good. Batman asks, do you know the Muffin Man? The Muffin Man? Oh, the Muffin Man. Yes. Do I know the Muffin Man? Yeah, he lives on Drury Lane. We actually have a Drury Lane in my town, I think. And finally, this will be the last question because I got to go. Shrapnel. When snowboarding in your living room and the sky starts falling, how many trees does it take to drown a doghouse? Shrapnel. Just can't answer that question. And why is it a greasy spoon, not a greasy fork or knife? Because you stir the pot with a spoon. You can't stir the pot with a fork or a knife. All right, there it is. That's the question and answer section of the show. It is over. Let me end the Q&A before you start putting some more in there. Just a reminder, before we go, I have a new channel called Marty Got Jokes. Marty Got jokes. Okay. And wait, whatever, Marty, what do you mean GDSOB? 42. The answer is always 42. Marty got jokes. There's nothing on it yet, but it's going to be starting today, and daily we'll put a daily joke on there just to lighten up your mood, okay? And maybe have you a little guffaw or something, or at least spit some coffee, whatever. Hopefully they'll be funny. Or some of you just go, oh, that is so bad. Let me give you an example. Because I mean, I've told this joke before, but so I have this neighbor, okay? Her name is Rachel, and Rachel's husband left her a couple years ago, and she's lived alone for a while. But Rachel recently came out as a lesbian, okay? And, you know, whatever floats your boat. But not too long ago, Rachel came by our house, and with her was her new girlfriend, which is weird because her girlfriend's also named Rachel. And I thought, well, first of all, I hate to admit this, but I was a little uncomfortable, okay? Because I'm just going to say it. I've never been around an interracial couple before. What do you do? All right. That's it. Gotta go. Thanks everybody for joining me on the Morning Night Live today. I'll have the links to everything in the chat shortly here, and I will have those updated in the description, and we'll drop the information on Discord too. Y'all, thank you for being here this week. I'll be back next week, Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern, and I will appreciate you showing up there too. So have a great weekend. I gotta go. My name is P Dog Knight, and I am out of here. Bye-bye. Hey, this is P Dog Knight, and thank you for watching today on the P Dog Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm P Dog Knight, and I'm out of here.